Hello and welcome back to Across the Gulf Coast. Well, as you can see, we've now made our way over to our Pensacola studios to talk about events taking place in Escambia County. The first of which is going to be in September. It's the Dragon Boat Festival to benefit the Gulf Coast Kids House and also with Northeast Sertoma, excuse me. My guests now are Megan Chapman and Chris McIntosh. Thank you both so much for being on the show today.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Megan, let's start with you, and let's start with Gulf Coast Kids House. I know you guys have been on the show before talking about several of your events, but for those out there who maybe not be as familiar with what your organization does, tell us about the Gulf Coast Kids House.
Sure. Well, the Gulf Coast Kids House is a child advocacy center, and we serve Escambia County. What we do is bring together all of the professionals that are needed to treat and prosecute child abuse cases here in Escambia County. And last year, we served over 3,100 victims here right from this area. And so we just continue to fundraise through events like Dragon Boat and the Semper Fi 5K and things like that continue just to support us throughout the community.
So you have everybody there in one location. Why is that important to have kind of the one-stop shop, for lack of a better term?
Sure, no, that's perfect. It is a one-stop shop, and what that does is creates a child-friendly environment for these kids to go through the process. It streamlines the process, it shortens the amount of time that the cases take to, from start to finish, and it also reduces the trauma that the child faces and continues to face throughout the process. So we create a team response and make sure everybody's on the same page with that one child.
If somebody out there watching at home wants to get involved, learn more, or somehow take part in what you guys do, how can they go about doing that?
Sure, absolutely. We have tons of ways for people to get involved. We love volunteers. We love people who want to advocate for these kids and give them a voice when they don't always have one. So check out our website. It's gulfcoastkidshouse.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're working on Instagram, all that kind of good stuff. We want to connect with everybody, so they can check that out, and we'll get in touch with them and find them a spot on the team somewhere.
Well, you guys have a busy start, or into the summer,
Always.
start to the fall. Yeah, y'all come on here, and there's always something going on, and not just one thing, but several things. So in September, I know y'all have, I think, 3 different events. So let's just start at the top and work our way down. And the first is the 5K. Tell me a little bit about that one.
Well, the 5K actually happens to fall on the same day as Dragon Boat, so we'll be very busy that day.
Oh, yeah, it does. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I know, exactly. But the Semper Fi 5K happens every year, and it actually benefits us along with 4 other charities that are mostly child-focused in the area. And it starts in Seville, I believe, and they run all downtown, and they've raised a significant amount of money for us over the years, and so we continue to support them in any way that we can. And if you want to get registered, I think early registration is still available. So
okay, okay. So same day, Chris. The same day. Little dragon boat. Dragon boat races. Chris, tell us a little bit about that event.
Dragon boat races. We're on our 3rd year. We've grown exponentially over the last couple of years, and we've really been able to take this festival and race to a whole nother level. For those of you that aren't familiar with what a dragon boat race is, it's actually a 42-foot long canoe, if I would, that fits 22 people paddling in 10 rows. You have a professional oars or steers person that we provide along with your package for being on a team, and then you have a drummer that keeps the beat and gets everybody going and doing their thing. And it's kind of amazing to see how it's grown, because we started off with 15 teams, and then last year we had about 30 teams, and this year we're already growing past that number as well. And it's just a fun event. It's a day-long festival. It's not just the races, but we have a children's area and vendors and food and kite shows, all kinds of stuff going on. So it's at Bayview Park on September 10th.
Okay. What time? What time does it start?
Opening ceremony started at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Yep.
Are the teams, are they for local people? Are they for professional dragon boaters, or how does that work?
You know, it's funny. The majority of our teams are local businesses.
Okay.
This is actually one of the best team building sports that you can be a part of, because where can you have 22 of your coworkers all together working towards one goal, plus their family and friends and that. So we set up an athletes village, and everybody kind of hangs out throughout the day and does their thing. Every team gets 3 races. The week prior, we get a whole week's worth of practices as well. So we're not going to just throw you into a boat and say, hey, giddy up and have a great time. But even though that would be kind of fun, because you should see some of these teams practice, and you could tell some of them haven't even been in the water before, never been on a boat. But when you see the smiles on their faces when they're getting off the boat, how much fun they've had, the amount of sweat they're dripping. It's an enjoyable time.
Now, where can these teams go to register?
To register, go to PensacolaDragonBoatFestival.com. You can go to our Facebook page, the same thing, just Google or just go to Facebook and type in Pensacola Dragon Boat Festival.
Okay.
We also have our gentleman, Tracy Day, is in charge of registration. You can reach him at 850-380-5855. We still have plenty of room for teams.
Okay.
So we are looking for teams. If you know somebody or a company or you have a group of friends, if you're part of a nonprofit organization, it is a great way to solidify that camaraderie.
Okay. And Megan, we have about, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds left. But I do want to mention the golf tournament at the end of September.
Yes, Panhandle Charitable Open. It's a 3-day long extravaganza. They actually have expanded it this year to cover 2 golf courses. It's Marcus Point and Stonebrook. But the Panhandle Charitable Open is put on every year in honor of John Peacock's son, who passed away. And they raise a ton of money for a large number of local charities. And it's just a phenomenal event. So we need volunteers for that, and we need lots of golfers to cover 2 golf courses.
Absolutely.
So you can find out more information about that on our website as well.
Great. Megan, Chris, thank you both so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
Really appreciate the time.
Thank you, Cam.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Stay with us. When we come back, we'll be joined by the National Museum of Naval Aviation Foundation.